572-0383 and 572-0215. Rev-Up St. Lucia, the alpha of radio.
And Hard Drive is brought to you with the compliments of Rambali's Funeral Parlor, Joseph Shipping, and also JJ's Paradise. JJ's Paradise, we're now offering day pass specials for adults at a cost of only 75 EC dollars and children 45 EC dollars, which includes pool access, one free drink, lunch buffet style, and dessert ice cream. Children over 12 years will pay the adult price, which is 75 EC dollars. Book a room for an additional 165 EC dollars from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 721-7693, that's 721-7693, and book a day pass package at JJ's Paradise today. Towels not provided. Now, Joseph Shipping Agency, the only agency in St. Lucia with 24 hours efficient service. When everyone else is asleep, we are awake. Call Joseph Shipping Agency at 484-8888. That's 484-8888.
At Rambali's Funeral Parlor, we truly care. During life's most difficult moments, we want you to know you are not alone.
At Rambali's, we are dedicated to providing dignity, compassion, and comfort when you need it the most.
Our caring team is here to walk with you every step of the way, whether it's in planning a gentle farewell or celebrating the beautiful life of your loved one.
We understand how precious they are, and we promise to honor their memory with the utmost respect and love.
Let us help you find peace and solace during this challenging time.
Please reach out to us at
758-452-2021, Castries, or 758-454-9239, Latuni, Viewfort, or visit us at ramballysfuneral.com.
We're here for you, ready to listen, support,
and serve with heartfelt compassion. You can lean on us.
At Rambali's,
we care.
Hello there, good morning, good afternoon, good night to our listeners and to our viewers in St. Lucia and across the globe, especially those of you checking us out on Facebook, on YouTube, on X, and also on DBS television. Welcome to Hard Drive for another week, another Monday. Today is the 7th of July, 2025. My name is Andre Paul, the co-host of the show. Ladies first, to my immediate right, none other than the lovely Keena. Keena, good morning.
Good morning, Andre Paul. Good morning, Tony Paul. Good morning to our viewers and listeners. Happy Monday.
Is that a new hairstyle?
No, whatever. Carry on smartly. Yes.
It looks nice.
I'm surprised he's only seeing it now.
Well, I mean, you know.
But you know what matters is that you finally said something.
Exactly. Tony, did you notice as well?
The answer is no.
You did?
when did that happen?
The honesty. I like the honesty.
Oh, yeah.
But honest, when did that happen?
Last week.
Like what day last week? Friday?
No. Before that. I think it was Thursday.
Okay, that was.
It happens.
Maybe the cap is accentuating the thing.
Perhaps.
Maybe so.
Perhaps.
Maybe the color of the cap.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
green
cap. I usually wear white,
That's right.
black, pinks, and so on. That's the first time I'm wearing green.
Yeah.
So maybe
that's just one of the 80-something caps.
Yes.
You know, Michael Jackson's daughter. I think she has over 100 tattoos, if I'm not mistaken.
Ooh,
yeah.
That's a lot.
I'm trying to remember her name.
Paris.
Yes, Paris.
Paris.
I think over 100 tattoos.
Wow.
And counting.
Ooh.
Anyway, let me officially welcome Brother Tony Paul.
Thank you very much.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, Andre. Good morning, Keena. Good morning to the
Tony.
world. Those of you on Facebook, as Andre said, also on X, and also on YouTube and DBS. We welcome one and all. Thank you so much for the love always that you show. You show us a whole lot of love, and we do appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts. Let me just quickly add.
Especially good morning, Tony, to the staff of DBS.
Yes.
Especially Linda.
Yes, Linda. Hi. Hope you're doing all right, and we'll talk to you very, very, very soon, as maybe later or tomorrow.
Okay, you were saying a while ago?
Right. Check out our website while you're there, okay, and see some of the stuff that we are doing. We have all of our programs there, our personalities. Go to the website, including now the latest top 10 will be there a little later on, the top 10 homegrown.
Mm-hmm.
Agree.
Yes, Tony. You know, a while ago when I said to you, you were saying, I thought you'd tell me you forgot. I was waiting for that, you know. I was waiting for that, yeah. Okay. How was your weekend, Tony?
It was fabulous. Yeah, you know, the usual, except me off the
So how long has it been now, Tony?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Going on 3.
Yeah. Any withdrawal symptoms?
A whole bunch. Imagine, that's the thing, you know.
I know the feeling.
Andrew and Keena having to be around it.
Yeah.
Everybody else is doing it, and you ain't doing it, and it's something that you enjoy.
Exactly. Well said, Tony. Well said.
We're talking about
Well
enjoyment.
said.
Now that you're not doing it, what space are you in?
A blank space.
when you're consuming and you're not, you're just kind of like.
I'm bored. I get bored, man. I'm like, what? You know, this is.
So pretty much the drinks and the conversation
Go
goes
hand in hand. I will say
Right.
this again. I won't mention his name. There's a friend, very close associate, who said to me he did it back in the day just for him to fit in. And, you know, because it's a lot of crap. Yeah, just there's a lot of crap that is spoken. Some good stuff is spoken as well, but it's mostly crap, you know, giving jokes and so on, right? And for you to fit in, you would laugh and so on. And if you're not firing away, man, you feel like I was just talking a bunch of crap.
That's true.
That's the feeling that you get.
That's true.
That is, you know,
Yeah.
the fella's level. You know.
That is true. That is true. That is true. That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah. So now you understand why I don't come by often.
That's true. That's true. I accept your call.
All right.
Now I do. I accept. I understand.
Yeah. So imagine now that you're sort of like outside and looking in. What? You say what?
Yeah, man, yesterday in particular, I was falling asleep, man.
What do you think is going to happen when you go back, when you start again? Do you think you'll just go full blown into it?
Fit right on in. Oh, you mean
or you gonna
full
take some
blown
time?
into, or just
Yeah.
full blown?
Easing.
Oh yeah, full blown.
Full blown?
Full blown.
Oh, how many more weeks do you have?
Just this week. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we're still proud of you, though.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was saying to Emanuela last week that Andre went on a fast.
Yeah, one time.
For a long time.
Yeah.
And I decided to try it because I tried it myself. And back then, those years, my favorite channel was the Food Channel. And you're laughing already. You get it one time. My favorite. I could tell you all the players on the Food Channel back then, their names, everything. Okay. Rachel Ray. I'm not gonna too many of them. Too numerous to mention.
Whatever happened to
Rachel?
those people? I haven't they just disappeared.
No, I think most of them are still there.
They're still around.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Rachel Ray is still happening. When she was there, she remember how short and sweet.
Yes, yes,
Rachel
yes.
Ray put on some pounds.
I'm sure of that.
Yeah. Emeril Lagasse. I used to watch him as well. And a few other names and so on. Like I said, too numerous to mention because I was there with all of them. You know what I mean? And then there's a food challenge and all of that. So yeah. And Andre, I'm going this fast and I'm watching the Food Channel. I'm telling you, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Again, it's to sort of test yourself, see what you can do, how strong you can be. So I'm around the guys, and the guys are firing away, and I'm just not taking anything. Yeah.
That's rough, you know.
That's
is rough.
Andre.
But the good thing, Tony, is that you know, I mean, you will get back there at some point in time.
Yeah.
It's different with somebody who has realized that what that particular habit is or vice is, that they want to move away completely from it, and it's different. That means now you do not have to be in
in that environment.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Because it's difficult. C'est très difficile.
and that goes for any habit, any vice, no matter
Yes.
what it is.
You gotta stay away from it.
Yeah,
You gotta
stay away from it.
All right. So I haven't asked you, Keena, about your weekend. How was it?
It was very restful. Snow is snow. Snow is being snow. Snow is rude now.
Snow is the dog, by the way.
Yeah.
You remember?
She's a bit rude now. She's actually spanking me every now and then when I tell her don't do something. I'm getting a paw.
Need a dog whisperer. Need a dog whisperer.
When she wants her way, she'll just paw me.
I could imagine you, Keena, I mean, spoiling the dog, spoiling your boyfriend, just spoiling everybody. I could just imagine.
she is of that ilk, right? You can
so.
see it.
I think so. So you should adopt me. Don't spoil me. Don't spoil me.
Ooh, I'll have a lot of work to do, right? You're already spoiled. I don't think that'll work. You're already spoiled.
So that makes it easier.
Spoiling more?
Exactly. Got much work to do.
Exactly.
All right.
Okay, couple of things before we get to the hard stuff, I
Sure.
suppose. Maybe Keena could elaborate because I hear these things. I don't take notes of them. I watch them and so on. The Carnival Queen show took place over the weekend.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Congratulations
Yes,
to
yes,
the winners. Okay.
I had the names, this morning.
Right.
Emily Tisson
Emily Tisson.
from Choiseul. Yeah.
So she's from Srizal.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
She was queen. I mean, she almost swept,
So her name is Emily?
Emily
Yes.
Tisson. Right. I heard you said something different.
Yeah, Emily.
The way it's spelled, Andre, the way it's spelled crazy.
E-M-E-R-L-E.
Okay.
Right.
It is Emerle.
Right.
Yes.
But it's
I would
pronounced as
never
Emily.
guess it's
Emily.
Emily.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying?
I actually said Umel or something
I
like that.
heard.
Oh, really?
I heard.
It happens. It happens.
Exactly.
But I got the last name right, Tisson.
Yes,
Yeah,
you did.
yes,
right.
yes,
Yes.
And I suspect I probably got the last name wrong as well. Katrina O'Culey.
No, you got it right.
Okay.
I got it
When
right.
you said,
Oh.
when you said
Oculi,
that one,
yes.
I was
Okay.
like, hey, you go, boy.
Second one up. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And of course, you had the
The
first runner-up,
Right.
Tatiana.
Yes.
Tatiana.
Clovis Freitas.
Right.
Yes.
She's married.
No, no.
Her mother.
Her mother is married.
Okay, you go ahead. You know these things. Okay, so her mom is married to a Freitas. She is Susan Clovis.
Yeah.
So she's married to a Freitas. So that's where the Freitas name came in.
So the the former, the 2024 Carnival
Queen.
right? Was she present at the show?
Yes, she was.
Absolutely.
She
was.
also
Oh, yeah.
performed with
Did she
Arthur
sing
Allen.
her latest calypso?
She didn't. No, she
No.
didn't. Yeah, she didn't do that. But I think she did.
There was a performance with Arthur.
That's
one of his
right.
songs and stuff. I think it's Mango. Or
That's
the rendition, the switch up with
right.
that rendition.
Oh, really?
It was really good.
You're sweeter than a ripe mango.
Darling.
Yeah. So she
Wow.
sang that
Yeah,
song
she
with
sang that
Arthur.
song with Arthur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, while they were doing that, I was,
Doing your own
I was
thing.
doing my own thing. I was doing my own thing.
Which we'll get to
To
shortly.
be on. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Tony.
Yes, I just
Yeah.
wanted to say this again. Congrats to the ladies.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Yes, let me tell you, y'all work really, really hard on the night. Andre and Keena, well, you watched it. On the night, Andre, it was really difficult for the girls, Andre. Oh, I'm just referring to him because I know you know what time it is. What time it is? I'm saying that to say this: with all the preparation, this year I noticed they added something slightly different. There was a question segment for the first appearance. You're asked a question, and Andre, most of them just froze. You saw that part?
Yeah.
Most of them.
So they didn't know what was coming.
That's right. They didn't know what was
I'm sure
coming.
they did know what was coming.
The question?
As with anything else, when you
No, I mean the question, the exact question.
the exact question, I'm not sure if they knew
I
what the
doubt.
exact question was, but I
Well,
think
that's what I meant when I asked.
Oh.
Yes,
Yeah,
Okay.
I
question.
doubt because it was bad. I don't know if you want to elaborate. It was
Wow.
Andre,
Wow.
It was bad.
Can you remember
The question?
Was it different? One question for everybody or different questions?
It was the same
It's the
question,
same question
for all
for
of them.
Well, what was it? I'm curious.
I don't
something about
quite
social
remember.
media and
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Something
So about social media and it's like the bad and the good, and if you were to win, how do you see yourself? Making social media different, or the kind of way.
for the youth of
for the
today.
youth, right?
But I would figure that's just right up the alley. These are young
Because
people.
they're young.
It
Andre,
would be, but being put in that spot on that particular
wait.
day, a lot of thoughts. Sometimes you want to answer a question and it comes, but you just kind of miss the mark. It really doesn't come out right.
Yeah, man.
It happens to the best of us.
And, and one of them, gosh, Andre, this is the last thing I'm going to say on that. Again, congrats to all of you. One of them, Andre, Shane Ross was the MC. One of them heard the question. Shane Ross asked the question, and he says straight up, I will repeat the question. Give you more time to think. He repeated the question. When she started answering, it was so bad, she stopped. She asked Shane Ross, can you repeat the question? Shane Ross repeated the question.
Oh,
She messed it up so badly again that she just froze. Shane Ross asked her, do you want me to repeat the question? It was that bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what?
Tough, Andre.
What
Tough.
So what was the question? Tough? What was tough? Because he said it's tough.
Maybe maybe it's,
I don't think the question was tough. I think it's just what's happening to the individuals at that time being on stage and having gone through all of the prep work. When you're in the spotlight at that point in time, and like I said before, sometimes you know what you want your answer to be, and sometimes you can't really formulate the words. You just panic, you freeze, and I think maybe that's what happened with her.
I'm thinking this. As I started saying it earlier, because it was the first appearance. Andre and Keena, you all at the back there, you all nervous and everything. I'm not sure how much preparation that they had for the opening. Andre, the opening, first thing you do is a question. Maybe they might just eliminate that for next year. They tried it
No,
this year.
I think they knew. I think the contestants knew there was going to be an opening number, the first interview. I think they were very much aware. I do not think that the Carnival Planning and Management, the team would not let them know, hey, this is what's coming.
That's not what I said.
No, but I think all of them knew what was coming. Some of them just froze on that particular time.
That's what I said. They probably knew it was the opening will be a question. That's what I meant. That's what I meant to say, and I think that's what I said. The opening would be a question, and it would just be whatever the question is. Maybe they didn't know what the question was. But Andre, every single, it was 7 of them, almost all of them.
I was just going to ask you, how about the Queen? Did she manage it well?
I kind of.
Yeah, she did.
She did, right?
She did.
Okay.
She did.
Well, that's why she's Queen, I guess.
Exactly.
Tatiana did as well. She did. So some of them did respond. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess again, sorry. We tend, the whole education system tends to concentrate a lot on more mathematics and whatever else. But one's ability to speak and speak well, I think that's not really part of the school curriculum, is it?
Pageantry?
No, the ability
or
to
the ability to speak.
speak well and speak in public and,
so on.
this sort of thing. Because I remember, Tony, when I made up my mind about becoming an anchorman, the first thing I did was I took an acting course and I took public speaking course, because I knew I would have to. In fact, that's the first time I was actually introduced to a teleprompter. So that was a cool thing, because then when I came to St. Lucia, I knew exactly what a teleprompter was all about. I'd only seen that for the first time when I went to the States.
Yeah.
You understand? So I was preparing myself for that. So if the girls know, as you're saying, that they must have known that this thing was coming, they should have been prepared for it. Because if they, I could just imagine, you want to die there looking at them freezing like that, freezing up.
Yeah. I'll go with what Keena said, though. You know it's coming at the time you're on stage. My thing was maybe because it was the first appearance, you know what's coming. Yeah, you know there's a question that's going to ask, and when it hits you, it's like, whoa, okay, it just froze. Like I said, most of them, Andre, they just like.
Anthony, don't forget, we in general, we have a lack of reading problem, right? We tend to focus just on our little environment, and we don't look at the big picture. You ask almost any one of these children, or at least their parents, right, who do very, very, very well where common entrance and so on is concerned, right? And you see these kids, they are avid readers. And I think this is where a lot of us are failing in St. Lucia. We do not read. You see? So if you're not reading enough, you cannot broaden your scope. You can't broaden your mind, your thinking. You're just limited to the two little things that you know.
I agree.
And when you put in a position now to form an opinion, to state maybe in facts and so on, you're caught. You're caught.
Hey, you're going there. I might as well just talk about myself. Growing up, I hated reading. Maybe like a lot of other kids. Of course, there are a lot who love reading as well. They just make it a habit. Reading, you know what I mean? I hated reading.
Up to now, I think you don't really enjoy it.
I was about to tell you that up to now, I mean? But if I read something that I like, for example, if I'm reading about football or sports, I enjoy that, honestly. You know what I mean? Because it's knowledge. If I'm reading about something that I have not a lot of interest in, it becomes boring.
Yeah.
But because I know we're doing a talk show, we're doing stuff, you're on the radio, you got to be in the know. And
exactly.
that has become very, very important to me. Watching the news, reading about the news and stuff, reading and knowing what's going on. So you can form an opinion.
Exactly. And that can only happen if you read.
Yes.
And it doesn't necessarily mean taking a book per se. You just keep in touch with what's going on around you. And I think maybe a lot of young people don't really do that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they figure I'm out of school already. No need for me to be continuing that thing. How is that going to benefit me in any way? And if you see the things about spending the time on the phone, right? That doesn't really challenge your thinking.
Exactly.
You're just reading stuff. And a lot of things, gossip and right, but things to do with facts and figures and getting to know the world around you. Another thing too that's important
That's the thing.
is
The world around you.
travel. Travel is important, you know.
Yeah, that too.
It really does broaden your whole scope. When you just limit it to a little St. Lucia, right? You're missing out on so much.
Traveling is great, but if you cannot travel, here's where you travel. Read.
Well.
Because again, the stuff that you read, it's almost like you can live it. You know, like you're living it. Reading is. Let me just say this. Reading is so beautiful. I hated it, but reading is so beautiful. When I read stuff now, I feel like I'm there because I'm with the person who wrote it. You know, I'm understanding a whole lot more. So it's like you're there. If you're reading about the United States, for example, you're reading something, and you know, you almost feel like you're there. You know, you're just getting that knowledge. You know, but so just in case you cannot travel, you could say, "Boy, but I hear so and so and so and so and that, or I read so and so and so," that kind of thing. You understand? So it almost feels traveling is great. You get that first-hand experience. But I'm saying, just in case you can travel.
Of course.
This is heavy.
We have some
Keena,
heavy.
you love reading?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do.
We have some heavy showers coming down. You could hear it in the studio.
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so Keena, if what you say is correct, it's true. I can't imagine the planning committee not informing them and letting them know that this is coming.
They would know.
Right.
I think they knew for sure.
And to add to that as well, and both of you actually rightly said it. It's not about intelligence, lack of intelligence or preparation. It's about nerves on that particular night, performance anxiety, and some contestants have stronger points. And some others on that particular night when it comes to, especially if you're not used to public speaking or not used to being on stage in a crowd, when you're there right now, you have a mic to your mouth and you have to respond, then the nerves kick in.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened. But as it relates to other aspects of that pageant, oh my gosh, these young women really delivered. I was very, very impressed.
So let's go back to that point, because this is it's important. So if, for example, you know you're supposed to be singing on the night, you do your best, right, to sing properly. You know you need to keep your weight down to a certain level, right? You are going to go to the gym, and I see many of the girls sometimes at the gym, they come there and they do their thing. You know that's expected of you. You also know it's expected of you to let people or give people the opportunity to hear how you think and to speak in public. Why don't the chaperone, whoever, get these girls prepared by having them make public addresses? Or maybe, well, okay, I guess maybe as a young person you'll not be interested in that sort of thing. But if you know you want to compete one day, you know that's coming up, you should prepare yourself.
But the young women are prepared. They have chaperones. They have coaches as well. There's so many people on that team.
But why would they be freezing because they're giving
it's normal. It's a normal part of us. We freeze. We go through performance anxiety, or just the nerves kicks in on that particular day. No matter how prepared you are,
true.
Sometimes it happens at the worst time.
Right. Yes, it's true. Very well said. Because Andre,
well, you will not win the competition for sure.
Not necessarily. You can pick up,
because that aspect of the competition is extremely important.
The question and answer.
Because remember, you have to represent the country overseas after that.
Yeah.
You can't be going and freezing.
But it just
there
happens.
are other aspects of the competition and
right.
stuff, and that's not just one. That's the
No, I'm saying, okay. So do you agree or disagree that you now have to? Hold on. Let me ask the question. Let me ask the question. You agree that this person is supposed to represent St. Lucia at future competitions? Maybe, I think there's the Antigua, wherever. That's expected of you. Now, do you think that we should send a representative who we already see or know is going to be freezing, nerves and so on taking over? You think that's what...
Well, that's where the judges come in, after all.
Yeah. And Andre, the second part of it, let me just answer it, is that, Andre, on the night, it's true, on the night, you froze a bit at that time. But other times you may just eat this up at other competitions.
But you don't know.
You
don't know.
That's why Keena said it's
because if they give you a head buster there on the night of some competition, right now we have people competing, contestants, Miss World. Didn't we have that one time? Miss World, Miss Universe?
We do. We still have representatives.
You can't go there and freeze and say, oh my God, I didn't expect that question and so on. No, you have to be prepared. You got to be prepared. And that's what I want to say, Tony. You see those kinds of things. If you see, I know where my weaknesses, I don't get involved in those kinds of like competitions and so on. If I do get involved, because I figure I stand a very good chance.
But yeah, with your good chance, you know, I'm almost glad that you go in there because you're asking some nice questions. With your good chance of you having that confidence, Andre, sometimes you just freeze. It just happens.
It happens.
Andre, you know it's like you know it, but you're just like, wait a second,
Yeah.
what just happened to me there? Or what is going on with me? And worst of all, once you question yourself, then that's it. You go blank. That's the word I've been looking
Especially
for.
when you realize,
go
hey,
blank.
the words are not coming out. Oh my gosh. Panic
You
sets
go
in and
blank.
it gets worse.
Ooh, yeah.
But I was truly impressed with each of them, though.
Good. I'm glad you went
Yeah.
back there quickly. Andre, besides those two little parts, the opening, and I think the last thing was the questions and answer, the other segment that usually is part of the competition. Besides that, they were really good.
I was really impressed with our queen.
Yes.
The moment she stepped on the stage, she owned it.
Yes. The performance and so on, her talent.
Her talent,
talent was pretty good.
oh my gosh.
Yeah. So,
Dorothy takes ours.
exactly.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
she performed it well.
Listen, oh my
The
gosh.
acting was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Andrea, like I said, she almost swept. Every category.
everything,
is like,
every category.
Boom.
It's like she knew the assignment. Her team knew the assignment. They came and she owned it.
Yes.
Like I knew that's what I came here to do. That's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to nail it every single time.
Yeah.
And the competition should be a lot tougher than that. Meaning that the other girls are stepping up, right, to the task. Not just one or two of them. You understand?
They all did extremely well, actually.
And to make it, no, I'm talking about the section where you brought up asked that question and answer thing.
Yeah.
I'm saying it should be that at that level where all of them are able to I wouldn't say man up, but woman up. Yeah, at that particular moment there. It's really important. It's really important. And to make it tough for the judges, man.
It's the
tough for the
human,
judges.
it's the human side of things, you know what I mean? Yeah.
And you know what I was really impressed about too? How smoothly the show went on.
Oh my goodness, glad you mentioned that as
It
well.
went by so smoothly. Everything was tight.
Andre,
So tight. You didn't even, there was no hiccups really.
Andre, tight.
Mm-hmm.
The
Shane
only
Ross,
thing,
oh my gosh. Oh,
Yeah.
I wish I could give him an award. Oh my goodness.
the only thing you could say, Andre, the little lack of tightness, and of course that has to happen, was the decision. The judges had to, again, as they say, deliberate. And all.
Deliberate.
That took not even too much time,
Well,
you
it
know.
didn't
Honestly,
take that long.
because everything went so smooth. I'm saying, okay, like I said, I'm trying to find a flaw. It was not even a flaw because hey, you got to put this together. You got to give the right decision. Okay, that, and of course there were the fillers of, as we said, the performances by Arthur, Ricky T, and so on. You know, so the fillers were good. Ricky T, you know what I mean? It was just so good.
And not only that, the entire team, the Carnival Planning and Management Committee, hats off to you. They definitely, you know what I really, really loved as well? They included, I don't think it's the first time, but they had some judges from overseas. So there was some sort of balance.
Really?
You know, yeah, we had some judges from overseas. I think St.
I was not aware.
Trinidad, I think there was a Jamaican, and we had St. Lucians on the judging panel as well.
Oh, the other thing, speaking of the judges, for almost each category, is it category they call it?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is the performances, the acting part, the swimwear, there were different judges.
Yeah. So that was
you heard that,
different.
right?
Yeah.
That was
Different
different.
judges. It's like you're competent in judging swimwear, you judge swimwear.
Yeah,
You're competent in
competent
judging costume, you judge costume. Performance and so on. So it was special.
I really
actually.
love what they did.
It was
the
special.
changes that they brought.
Yeah.
I welcome it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Good stuff. Good
All
stuff.
right.
So can we move on now?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, I have to do the usual. The Tommaso bread place. Go get your stew backs today, your stew turkey, your ground provisions, dumplings, and lentils. Okay? And I think there's also tossed salad. Yes, that's right, tossed salad as well. So stew backs today, stew turkey, ground provisions, tossed salad, dumplings, and lentils. Also, don't forget the sea moss flavors. Coconut, ginger, peanut, and peanut punch, and regular sea moss with flaxseed and chia seeds. I had one of the peanut punch.
Your
the
favorite?
peanut punch, yeah. I had it,
favorite.
yeah. Anthony had it as well.
Oh yeah.
So that was last night.
Oh, last night? Oh.
Yeah, on my way down to Labrie. So, folks, don't forget to go check the Tommaso bread place for your stew backs, stew turkey, ground provisions, dumplings, and lentils, and also tossed salad. All right. Today, Tony, Daddy Fox is celebrating his birthday. Yeah.
My man.
That's our cousin,
Yeah, that's my boy, man.
Daddy Fox. Yes, I. So, Daddy Fox, happy birthday to you. And by the way, you're in good company because I know Tony's birthday is in July as well.
It is this month.
But I will not tell you exactly when.
You know what
That's
I'm saying?
our big secret.
Big time. Big time.
Yeah, and I think I figured it out, Tony, why we don't make a fuss, because we never really
The way
saw
we grew
birthday
up.
parties. Yeah, we never had birthday parties.
Never did.
I mean, Nairobi has had a birthday party since she
year.
was 1.
Yeah.
Every year she gets a little birthday party.
We did not have that pleasure or privilege.
Yeah, for
Yeah, we
some
just
reason.
didn't.
Yeah, for some reason, our
Never.
parents didn't really put
Andre,
emphasis on.
no. Forget Andre. Andre, know what time it is. Keena, never.
Never.
Have you had a birthday party?
Yeah.
A few?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those are the times.
Yeah,
you know what I
never.
mean? We never did.
When
Not
I was
our
younger,
parents,
nah.
not partners,
Maybe
nothing.
gifts
Say,
was
well,
not
we
a
threw
part of it.
a
I
party,
got
a
older,
party
That's
for you,
true.
nothing like that.
That's true.
Nothing.
That's true.
Nothing.
And also, Mama, I think her birthday would pass. You
We wouldn't know.
even
You
know.
didn't know?
Yeah, we
Okay.
knew late.
Don't talk about
when-
Papa, even worse.
Exactly.
You
Late,
know.
we knew their birth dates. Late.
Yeah.
You know, us growing up, we eventually asked, like, hey, what's your birthday? You know, and they told us.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
But they
So
didn't
that passed by
celebrate it.
and they didn't make a
They
fuss.
didn't. Right.
So I think that is why we Tony, you, myself,
You're-
as far as I'm concerned, it's no big deal.
No big
The
deal.
day could go by, it doesn't really matter to
Yeah.
me. I don't say it's my birthday to anybody.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. And
It's people that remember it, and then of course
They
people
wish
who
you
know,
happy birthday.
and they
Yeah,
will.
they would wish you.
I'm in a group there, behind the college guys. So July, the fellas already planning to do the July Bonds party.
Mhm. Oh.
And one of the guys his birthday was Saturday, as a matter of fact. Let me give him a big shout. Wayne Quinlan. Wayne Q, good morning. And to all the guys, BTC. Wayne know the dates. Them fellas mark the dates. Wayne be wishing the July Bonds happy birthday. I'm like, Wayne, just remember, I ain't on that. Do not mention my name in the chat room.
Yes,
I'll be there to celebrate, but that's it. Andre, the birthday is so bad. Okay, I give Facebook 3 birth dates so far, and of course, you know they blank you after the 3rd. I don't want nobody to wish me no happy birthday. I give the wrong year, everything.
But you could choose to not make it public.
But here, from the time you give a date, people go on Facebook, they say, hey, but they wish you happy birthday.
No, but
So the last one that I
if you
did-
choose to not make it public, no one will see it.
They won't see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to go in your
you see,
privacy settings.
You learn
and change
something
it.
new. Hook a brother up.
I will.
All right. So, Andrew, the last day that I gave them was December 31st. I figure, holiest day, everybody preparing. You mad?
Why you give them December 25th?
Christmas?
Yeah.
The worst again? They're looking for, hey, who born on who born the same date with Jesus Christ? You know what I mean? So they would do that. So I figure 31st, everybody, all busy. Hey, Andrew, your mad birthday greetings coming left, right, and center.
Yeah, it does.
Gosh.
Your page, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
There's so many messages. Sometimes you get over 300, 1,000 messages on Facebook. And some people do respond after and say thank you so much to everyone who sent the birthday greetings and so on. Yeah.
I'm not on that.
Yeah, Tony, I'm with you on that one. What I'm on is that every day should be Mother's Day, every day should be Father's Day, every day should be your birthday. In other words, you get treated well, or as often as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do some people have the opinion that you cannot make anybody happy, but you certainly can help.
That can help.
Yeah, you can
help.
Yeah.
I think you can make it. Well,
Yeah, you can
add.
Yeah,
You can add.
you can.
You could add.
Because they're saying it's like your happiness should be within, in you. You make yourself happy, and then other people may add to your happiness.
Right. Add
So,
to your happiness.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel, and let me get your take on that one. If you have a girlfriend or boyfriend, right, they should be helping to contribute to your happiness.
Yes.
You're coming into somebody's life.
Yes.
You shouldn't be coming to bring stress.
I agree.
You should be coming in to help enhance the person, make them better, make them, lift them up,
In
lift them
fact-
up, be a help to them.
In fact, when they're down, that's your job.
Yeah,
Lift
right.
me up.
Yeah, yes.
Give me a pick me up. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Whatever it takes, because you would know me that well. So whatever it takes to make me feel better, do it or say it.
And even if you can't make the person feel better, because it may be a death in the family, for example, and the person is grieving and mourning at that time. But you're there with them. You let
You're
them
there
know I'm
supporting
here
them in
with
whatever
you.
way that you can.
Yes, I'm there with
Yeah.
you. I'm right there. And then when anything that they need, you can help and so on to lighten their burden. That you're there with them. So I'm just saying, these things should not be reserved for a particular time. Your birthday, and you make a fuss. So I don't deserve anything all year round. And
For
he's
some
a
people,
jack.
that's all. For some people, their birthday means so much to them, and they would celebrate.
Maybe it's
it.
because the same thing
Yeah.
that people make a big fuss with
They
it
make
on
a
that
big
day.
fuss
So we,
on their
you know,
birthday,
today's my day,
leading up
boy.
to
What?
it and so on.
Yeah, I don't get that all year round.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I go
So
all out.
yeah, man. Yeah, you should be. We should be doing things to make the other person feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do the things that we know make them happy.
You know the
What
other
makes you
thing-
happy? What makes you
What
happy?
makes me happy? Just being alive most times.
So in other words, you're already happy
Yeah,
within
just being
with
here
yourself.
alive, waking up to see another day. I'm
Mhm.
already happy.
And Andre,
I have a
just
few
like
things.
you, I feel for her. Coming to work, being on the radio.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
that alone makes me happy. And the other thing is, having conversations with my family members, hearing my mom, my stepdad. I mean, over the weekend we were on the phone for 4 hours. Yeah. Yeah, just 4 hours, just vibing, just talking. Yeah,
That's good.
yeah. So
That's good.
that makes me happy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy and sad though.
So how can your better half contribute now to your life in terms of helping you feel happy? Because I mean that's something he can't give to you. What you just said there about having life, he can't give that to you. Maybe you can take it away.
Well, we said this before, just not bringing anything stressful into my space. And the moment, I'm not saying that we do not go for stressful moments. We do on a daily basis, whether it be at work. Maybe your dog might be stressing you because it won't listen. Maybe you go to a supermarket and so on. But willingly bringing stressful situations
I like that.
to me.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if there's any other thing that happens, you can't really do anything about it. It just happens. Life happens. But if you willingly bring in stressful situations within my space, oh boy.
Yeah. I think we should really make an effort. When I say we, I mean we as human beings, to find out what it is that makes us happy.
Mm-hmm.
And when you figure it out, go and do those things. Once it's not anything illegal or immoral, go ahead and do it because it makes you feel happy, it makes you feel good. That's the
No,
little.
but for
that's
some
the
other people as well, what makes them happy might be hurting someone else.
That's what I'm saying. Once it's not illegal
Yeah.
or immoral.
Right. They wouldn't see it as immoral.
That's what I'm saying. So they need to ensure that they dot their I's, cross their T's. Am I hurting somebody? Right? Am I doing something there that's making somebody unhappy?
Right.
You know?
Yes.
Like, for example, planning to go and, murder people, which we're going to get to that right now.
Oh my.
Right? That's bringing hurt and pain and sadness in somebody else's life. And what happened there last week, Thursday, is cause for
concern.
real concern, where you had a situation where four individuals were shot. Well, I don't know if the police have made any headway as yet in terms of having suspects and so on. But I don't know. I didn't get all the little details as to were the guys masked, whoever it is that perpetrated this act. Were these individual? Was it one individual? What are you guys hearing? Was it one individual?
haven't heard
Which one are you talking
anything.
about? Graveyard?
The graveyard situation.
I heard, I heard it was two.
Two what?
Two individuals.
Two individuals.
Stormed the area. Sound like a news person. Two individuals stormed the area.
It's not funny, but it's just how you said it.
You know what I mean? And came in and just was shooting indiscriminately at some residents. And how many got shot? I think
Four.
Four got shot,
got
but
shot,
two died.
Two succumbed.
Yes.
Two succumbed.
Including a
An
woman.
unborn child.
That's right. A woman with, gosh.
I don't know. That one is like.
And it begs the question: was the woman the intended target? Because we don't know.
Oh, we don't know.
So whether intended or
not.
you just got caught in the crossfire.
Right.
Either way,
Yeah.
that's an egregious act, man.
Mm-hmm.
And imagine that this person now, this child has a father, right? This lady has a family, right? And right now, I'm sure they're going through a rough time dealing with that loss.
That's
I mean,
the
it's
thing.
one thing. It's bad enough when you have the mother who's a mother or mother to be. I'm not sure. This is her first child. I don't know. Right? So a female whose life was taken in that way, and then you finding out that she's pregnant.
So let me add to that, because you sort of grazed the surface a little bit. The father of that unborn child, you know what I mean? Let's just say maybe that would have been his first child or whatever,
Or her first child.
Right, because you touched that as well. But she's gone, so I'm thinking of the father who is the would-be father who is still alive. You know what that feels like?
So many families.
You understand what I'm saying?
I wonder how many months pregnant?
7.
7 months.
Yes.
Pregnant.
Yes.
So you have almost a full.
Exactly.
So you know what's going to happen at that funeral. They have to bury that
The child.
the child. you know.
Child as well.
I remember long time ago where Crick's funeral home used to be at the foot of the Darling. Remember that, Tony?
Oh yeah, big time.
It used to be. I'm sure you wouldn't remember that one for sure.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, just opposite that court there, the court, right, Tony?
The court, I mean, the
tennis court?
tennis court, yes.
Is that court still there, by the way?
Yeah,
It's still there.
upgraded and all.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
tennis court, basketball court, and it was a volleyball court as well, multi-purpose kind of thing.
I know, Keena, you have no idea what we're
I
talking
know
about.
what you're talking about.
They call it the gardens.
Yeah,
The
the
guy is
garden.
just down there. On your way
Yeah,
down.
that court has been there forever, forever. So anyway,
By
so
the way, Alan Shastney played basketball there, by the way.
I heard that.
Oh, okay.
I heard that. Yes, I heard that. So Crick's funeral home was someplace around there, and I remember that story that's a long time ago, where a lady was hit by I think a truck ran over her and she was pregnant. Okay, and that was like the big story back in the day. I mean, that happens to a lady. She was killed and she lost the baby died as well. And everybody was curious to see who that person was. So, boy, I mean, people in droves heading to Crick's funeral home, including yours truly. Yeah, I can remember I was going to school at the Sir Arthur Lewis College. Then I came down. First place I headed was there just to go and take a look. And I saw the mother in the casket there with the little baby in her arms. That was so moving at the time. They didn't put the child in a separate coffin or anything.
They were-
Just sharing the space with the mother. That was just so moving. So when I hear those kinds of stories, man, right? I mean, that I think touches me to the core. You see, whenever I tell you have children involved in those kinds of things, now them fellas that doing those things, these fellas either real stupid, or they do not understand the culture of the country. And let me explain. Stupid meaning you lack wisdom to know that when you do an act like that, there are going to be repercussions in your personal life. At some point, you can't get away with that. So I say stupid because they don't understand how life works. Okay, so they either stupid or they do not understand the culture. And when I say the culture, I'm talking about we are a very superstitious group of people. We don't play, right? So them fellas, when people can't tell you, you see, they probably wouldn't say it in public. When you see a mother or grandmother or whoever in private telling you what them going to happen to them kind of fellas, so I'm saying either they're stupid, they do not understand how life works, or they do not understand the culture. Because when those family members tell you, don't take that lightly, I hope them fellas listening right now.
Yeah.
Because my brother, you have to be shaking in your boots at this point in time. Them fellas going and just doing those things. There's a particular one. Remember that incident that happened down there in the Tomaso area there? They killed a fella in Dennery, right? The individual is on the loose. He's on the loose over the place. They're hiding from the police. Okay? I mean, how could you live your life like that?
At the age, I don't know if that's where you're going. At the age, Andre, you don't care.
Yeah, they don't care. They don't think.
Yeah.
They're not thinking along the lines of
But
what will happen.
But you have to admit that some people think like that.
Yes,
Because
some
Tony,
people
when we were kids, that never even entered our minds
Like
To
what?
take
to
somebody's
go and take
life,
somebody's
no.
life.
No,
just so.
that's
We're in a
that's-
different space.
Yeah, definitely.
Different time.
But gosh, I hate to say it, but I will. I don't know. There was a time in my
I have a
life.
feeling that sometimes when you place something like a gun in someone's hand, they feel empowered. I could do anything.
That's true.
With that. Just mess with me. I have that,
Yeah, it's
and I'm
true.
gonna use it.
Yeah.
And for some, that's all they think.
You feel like Superman. I've heard guys, because Andre and Keena, quite a number of guys that I hang out with have licensed firearms. Let me repeat. Some of my boys I hang out with are licensed firearm holders. And they have said to me, when you have that on you, you feel like you're Superman.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I'm not interested.
I understand where you're coming from.
Not interested.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. Yeah, but you
Just
feel
the
like you're
thought of
Superman.
knowing I may have to use it, I may have to use that thing
There you go.
in my defense,
Mhm.
and I may take a life. And guess what, Tony? Yes, it's true. You're a licensed firearm holder, but that doesn't just go away like that. Say you even defending yourself, you have to be somebody who's really disconnected to take a life and just move on, even if you're a licensed firearm holder.
Yeah, you I don't know what goes through their minds. It's to put yourself in that space after taking someone's life.
Yes, even
You
if
just
in
keep
your defense,
going, like,
even in your defense.
yeah, it does do something to you as a human being. It should. And if it doesn't, then
That's the
something is
thing.
wrong
It
upstairs.
should.
Exactly.
It should, but
Something is definitely
Andre
wrong
and Keena, I've
upstairs.
said it to you all before. There's a phrase, the fella's mind burn, and that is very real.
I guess if you've done
Take
it
my
time and
word
time
for
again
it.
over a period of time, then you get into that space.
Your mind just burn.
Well, yeah, and burn including you don't understand life,
All
the
of
way
that.
the way it works.
All of that.
That you're gonna pay for that one day. You know, you're gonna pay, and what about the reprisal killings? And that's what the police are saying. These are reprisal killings taking place there. So you think
Unless
there'll not be a
it too-
reprisal to you as well? The fellas
Unless
already,
if they're already in that space, you know what? I know I'm going to do this. Maybe it's for me to be part of a gang. Maybe, okay, you know what? That fella take out my friend and I'm going back to do it. I know at some point in time it's going to happen to me.
Yes.
It's going to happen to me as well. I have a choice.
so why run?
I might.
If you're thinking like that, why are you running?
Because
Stay there.
You're not ready.
Stay there.
Well,
you're not ready to face the consequences,
Right.
But
most
if you're
likely,
saying-
or you still have other things to do.
Yeah, but
that
if you're
haven't been
saying
done as yet.
you don't care, just stay there. Let yourself get killed.
Nah, you're not. That's suicide.
They know what they're doing.
That's
they,
suicide.
they don't want to die. That's just
I don't
talk.
think they want to
It's just
become-
talk.
They don't want to die, Andre, but they just know, boy.
But you have, but we're saying they don't care.
They don't care.
In other words, you could take their life. It doesn't really matter to them.
a
It doesn't
kind of
matter.
way. So it matters because you have life. It matters. But at the same time, they tell themselves, "Boy, I know what I'm doing. It's the vibe that I'm in. I know
I know the
my
risk
turn
that
might
I'm
just
taking, and
Yeah, my time might
time
just
will
come. But in the
come, but till
meantime,
then-
I think that's where you come in. In the meantime, Andre, I taken out of you.
yeah.
Andre, there's that kind of mindset.
Mhm.
I taken out a few because I know most likely I will go to.
Exactly, and that's the point I'm making. Your turn will come, and we have to send that message out there to those individuals that just in case they don't know or they don't care, right? I mean, just are you prepared? Are you prepared for the inevitable?
Good. I'm glad you went there.
Yeah, are you prepared for that sort of
And I
thing?
don't,
Right.
and they're not. They're not.
Right. In terms of being prepared,
And in going out there and pulling that trigger, there's so many people that are innocent.
Exactly, and that pregnant lady
Yeah.
could be an innocent bystander. You just
and that
opening
unborn
fire.
baby as well.
So 4 people got injured. I think that 2 of them are recuperating
yes.
in stable
Yes.
condition.
Yes.
Right? So reprisal killings. That's what's going on there.
It seemed that's what it is.
And you know what, too? A lot of these young men are loyal. And they're loyal to the wrong person. And blind loyalty can cost you your life.
Yeah. So Denry has been having their share of problems for a while now. I know one business person that normally organizes activities for the public and so on. And maybe about 5 years ago, she told me she's not having those activities anymore because she feels uncomfortable. She feels as though there's stuff brewing in the community, right? And may just explode at any time. And I guess maybe she knows the individuals. Maybe they come at her place and so on. So she's not taking any chances.
Yeah.
She hasn't
I
had
don't blame
anything
her.
there
I don't
in
blame her.
years. In years.
Years.
Yeah, in years.
Wow.
Yeah. So you
Because
see,
you just never know when it's going to happen.
yeah, this thing is like, it goes into abeyance just for a little while,
Yes.
and this thing just reignites. So there's another problem there right now as we speak, right? In the Denry community, I think again, a couple people were shot there. One of them was a female as well. Yeah, one was a female, and they've had multiple shooting incidents, arrests as well. So as it stands now, I think 36 homicides for the year so far, somewhere around there.
I didn't get the figures, but I maybe somewhere around there.
I think last year was about 42 around the same time. But no, man, that's just terrible. And you have people telling you they're not passing this community, they're not passing that community. You know, I don't think like that. I'm living my life.
For sure?
Yeah. I pass it in the community. I have to pass there.
You have your things to go
I have my
do, so
business
you'll
to
just
do.
go ahead and do
Only
it
if I
nonetheless.
have to go, I have to
Yeah,
pass through there.
only
If
if
I
I
don't
have
have to
to.
pass through, Andrea, I ain't going there. You just never know.
In essence, what Andre is saying, why live in fear? I'm not the one part of it. I'm not doing anything. I have my business to go and do. I might just as well.
I'm living my life.
Oh, yeah.
I can't allow them people to come and dictate to me. I have some people tell me they don't drive in certain communities. They go roundabout. Even if the traffic is heavy, they go through that. And me,
I go into me too. I go into the heavy traffic. if I'm not in a hurry, well, no, most times I'm in a hurry. But I go into the traffic, man. I sit it out.
Okay.
Go around. I ain't have time for that.
But anyway, I really hope the police make some headway with these homicides.
Yes,
I really hope so.
Yeah.
But I imagine it's tough for them. It's tough because you need the assistance of the public.
That's
although they
right.
do say that the public do assist,
Yes.
and they, again, in these instances, they're asking for information, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I really hope that they make some headway. The Prime Minister has expressed deep concern concerning Tyson, 642 Tyson. He's worried about the circumstances surrounding the death of that dog. And he also said that the government is not taking it lightly, and the government is committed to ensuring justice is served. Okay? So I hope the way we are already, after a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, we're moving on. Yeah, we forget about that already, Yeah? How many of us remember Tyson?
I still do. I still do.
Yeah. Well, I hope that the police, that they make the findings public.
I'm sure they will make the findings public.
Yeah.
I'm sure they will.
But
investigations are continuing, and I'm happy that the Prime Minister actually spoke up about it. And what happened to, we said that last week, this is an attack on the entire police force. If you can poison a dog, what else can you not do?
Exactly.
And what else have you been doing within the ranks of the police force?
Okay, so we will be following, right? Yeah, we will be following. I hope the people who were making noise about it before, that their voices don't go quiet. Okay, so keep up the pressure. Talking about keeping up the pressure, I was really heartened this morning when I read in Jamaica that there are two movements in Jamaica, and CARICOM, they're having their 49th heads of government meeting in Jamaica as we speak, and there are two organizations, one called the Palestinian Solidarity Action Group of Jamaica, and the International Boycott, Divestment and Sanctions Group. These are groups that in Jamaica, I'd never heard of them before. So they speak out against injustices and so on, which is such a cool thing. I really wasn't aware that this was going on. So they were demonstrating peacefully in the presence of the CARICOM ministers, telling them to condemn what's going on there in Gaza. All right? They said here, we are here to ask CARICOM to cut all diplomatic ties with Israel. Yeah, cut all ties with Israel. They spoke about the fact that a lot of the ships that transport the weapons and so on for Israel pass through the Caribbean. Yes, with ships with Caribbean flags and so on. So a lot of people are involved in making money off these wars. There's a particular lady, her name is Albanese, I think that's her last name, and that just came to mind. She's released a report and mentioning a lot of big companies, right, like Amazon, Amazon, she mentioned Amazon, a few of them. And she's saying that these companies are providing Israel with AI know-how. So Israel can help fight this war and find where the hostages are, target Hamas and this sort of thing. So this lady, whose job it is to monitor what's happening in Gaza, she's come out with a report saying that after this war is over, these CEOs, like the Jeff Bezos and these people, right, could be held accountable for making money, profiting off that war in Gaza. Now, I understand the emperors were broke. You know what I mean? You broke. Things are bad. you figure there's an opportunity for him to rake in some dollars at the expense of people's lives. Them fellas are multi-billionaires. And you're telling me, you involved in that kind of thing? Your company's involved in helping Israel to commit these crimes? All because you think that you're on the right side of history. But innocent people are being killed. Now, that brings me to a very interesting thing. Look at them in America. Remember they had the fires about a few months ago. Remember the fires were raging in certain states and so on.
California.
Now they had the right. They have a situation where children were swept away by flood waters, right, because of the flash flooding and so on.
Sad.
And here you, sad.
Yeah.
Sad.
Mm-hmm.
How many people had that attitude toward those children who were being killed every day in Gaza? We don't say that, you know. I was watching a BBC presenter the other day. I think some Presley lady had died. And he started his reading by saying, we start today with a very, very sad news about this Presley lady passing. And I said to myself, look at that. To them, that's the saddest thing ever. I heard Trump saying, oh, it's sad. Everybody says it's sad. It's sad that those children are dying. And it is sad for true. It is sad. But why is it sad for some and not sad for all? Listen to your word.
I get
sad,
you.
Sad.
I get you.
For some reason, you can empathize. And I'm not knocking you for that. You don't misunderstand me.
Go ahead.
It's easier for you to empathize and sympathize with an American.
That's right.
Who you know what I mean? You don't know. Just the same way you don't know those in Gaza as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot easier for you to identify.
It's true.
Right?
Yeah. It's very, very true, Andrew. Well said. And I've kind of hinted that. I've not gone all out and say it, I think. It's that the people of Gaza, the Palestinians and so on, I don't know. I ain't never been there. Until you brought it up with the news and so on, I'm like, okay, I've heard of Palestine. I've heard of the Palestinians. I've heard of the Gaza thing. I've heard of what was the terrorists? What's the name they call them again?
Hamas.
Hamas and so on, you know. But I put my mind to that. Been to the United States, was educated there. According to someone, I'm a product of the USA. You know, I have children there. I have relatives there. You know what I mean? I have friends there. So yeah, it's easy to identify.
But Martin Luther King, he put it well. He said, injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. No matter where it happens, you have to speak out against it. Little children, I tell you, are being killed, massacred on a daily basis. They're done by Israel with the help of the U.S. Canada was involved. It's still involved. England is involved, giving them arms and weapons and so on. Germany, all of them involved in that thing. And now we're hearing, right, this lady who's now, her name is Francesca Albanese. She's the one monitoring the goings on in Gaza, and she's saying that these big tech companies, and she actually named them, dozens and dozens of them, including Amazon, Microsoft is another one, right? That these people are involved in this war. They're making billions of dollars.
So even though they're billionaires, and to add, is two things, right? One to what Tony was saying, another to add to what you're saying as well. Some people just don't want to focus on Gaza, because it's you see a lot of bombings happening, and the images are so raw, you can't really take it on, and it does something to you mentally, so they zone out from it. So when you hear something else happening in the United States, maybe a natural disaster or stuff, you could relate to that, because we too in the Caribbean, we deal with natural disasters, so that could be one of the reasons why it's easy for us to connect. But the good thing is, and what you've been doing is actually bringing that to the fore. And that's what I love about it, because I too actually was in that position where I still don't watch the images, I still don't go online and view the videos and so on, but having conversations about it, I can relate to it somewhat, because even then in the Middle Eastern countries, we too have families there, because you never know when as well that they too could be caught in the crossfire. And to add to what you're saying as well, Andre, is that as much as you may think that these people are billionaires, how did they get their billions? Maybe that's what they were doing for a very long time.
Who knows?
You know, supplying surveillance systems, and then it contributes to their wealth and so. And the longer the fight continues on, the more money a lot of these individuals are going to make from it.
Let me just add to that, because while you were speaking, I thought about it. How did they get their billions? They have billions. They want more billions.
Yes, amazing. Never satisfied.
Exactly.
It's like an
Never
entire
satisfied.
ecosystem that feeds the war, and that's what we don't see. And I'm happy that you brought it up, because we just think, okay, it's just Israel and Iran and doing their thing, and we're not part of it. But who's feeding them? Who's providing the weapons?
Yes.
And so on?
Yes. And as I said, it doesn't matter where it is. We should be concerned, because let me tell you, if we start seeing images of children heads being blown off, arms being blown off in America, we would watch it. We would watch it. See, hey, this is happening, and we'd be quick to condemn and so on, right?
Yeah.
But it's as if that's similar, to the days of slavery when black people were considered to be nothing. Who cares? Who cares? I can't identify with you.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Anyway, so hey, in a not too distant future, you may hear these CEOs being hauled before courts, right? Before the International Criminal Court of Justice to answer for their actions. Right now, we look as though everybody's getting away with it. But you can never tell what happens 20 years from now, 30 years from now. These people, you see all the big boys right now, they're going to be standing before a court of law to explain or to pay to make up for the loss that you have caused to those families. Tell me Israel can just go in Iran, just start bombing people all over the place just so they bomb a prison there as well.
Recently?
Yeah, that happened about a week ago.
Okay.
They just bomb a prison, over 900 people killed just so, because you figure the people trying to develop a nuclear weapon, they should try to stop the guy in North Korea. Try and stop him.
They wouldn't
mess around. They wouldn't mess around, right?
No.
Because they can do it to Iran. That's why they're doing it. Anyway,
Is this still Kim Jong-il?
Yeah, he's there.
For life.
Or let him tackle Putin. Go and tackle Putin.
Yeah.
They ain't going to try that.
Yeah, and all these people have nuclear weapons. They do. And Trump saying, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. But Russia has it. In fact, Putin has already threatened to use it. He's already threatened. And you think they're going to go and tackle Putin? No way.
They're not going to.
It's just been a bully. That's all. Anyway,
let me pop the question, man. One question: what makes Russia? I know they are huge. They are large as hell. One of the largest in Europe. What makes them so powerful, Andre? Is it the army?
Yeah, they have a powerful army.
Okay.
The economy is robust.
I know.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, now they've organized what they call the BRICS. Okay, so you have Brazil, R stands
Russia.
B is for Brazil, R is Russia.
Yeah.
All right.
I
is for which one is I again? About you? Which one is I? Anyway.
Yeah.
But listen to that. So the world now is going to be shifting its focus and trading with BRICS, because these guys are breaking away.
India.
Yes, I said India. Okay, India. So they're going to be moving away. The world will be moving away, and
South Africa, I believe, is the S.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're moving away now to trade with BRICS. Donald Trump doesn't like that. He said now anybody who's going to be trading with BRICS is going to be receiving the wrath of the U.S. Oh, yes. You're going to trade with BRICS? Yeah, we're going to impose some tariffs in your backside.
Oh, my word.
Yeah. So if you go decide you want to work with BRICS, although that should be your right to whoever you want to trade with. He said if any country goes and trades with BRICS, you're going to put tariffs in their skin.
Boy, oh boy,
Oh,
oh
no.
boy, oh boy. The great Donald.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's now time for the shout-outs.
Shout-outs.
Let's go.
So on the WhatsApp platform,
Just before you jump, I don't know if he sent it on the WhatsApp platform. I got a message from John Quinlan, my friend John Quinlan. Huge listener to Rev-Up St. Lucia. Gosh, the sweet.
Thank you,
remember,
John.
You remember, I don't know if you know his sister Joycelyn, but you may remember Joanne Quinlan, who worked at Radio St. Lucia.
Of course I do,
That's
yes.
his sister.
Oh, okay.
Right.
All right.
Okay, so he says his son celebrates today, 7/7/25. That's his son, and his grandson celebrated on the 4th of July as well.
No names?
No, he didn't give names.
Man. Yeah.
I guess since you were talking about the July birthday thing,
Okay.
Yeah.
okay.
All right. So just in case he didn't put it in there.
I'm not sure. Let's see. Yeah, he sent a message with something else.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Responding
Okay,
to something.
so we're first to chime in was actually John Quinlan.
There you go.
He said Archbishop Malzer calls for a day of prayer and fasting amid spike in homicides. It's just a link. Thank you, John. Josie Ann chimed in and she says, "Good morning, Rev-Up family. A blessed week to all." Thanks, Josie Ann.
Thanks, Josie. All the best to you, Josie.
Someone else chimed in. Let's see who it is. Joanna. Hi, Joanna. Good morning.
Joanna Boudou.
Yeah, most likely. She says, "Blessed Rev-Up family. Hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. Love to everyone." Someone else sent a video. Let's go all the way down.
Just quickly, today I just got a message there from my good friend Riani. Today is Winston Springer's birthday.
Junior?
Yeah.
Happy
Oh,
Winston
happy
Springer Jr.
birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Springs. Yes, it's a good thing I checked my phone.
Yeah, yeah.
Happy birthday, Winston Springer Jr.
Happy birthday.
Enjoy your day today. Riani, thanks a lot for sharing that, man. Very important.
Okay,
Mhm.
cool. Moving on, someone else sent was it today? 1 second. Yeah, today. Some link, St. Lucia visa-free access to EU explained. So someone sent a link and they shared a video. I'm not sure what that video is. Watch it later on. Someone else chimed in and says, I think that question segment for the contestants should be revised. Can you imagine being under so much pressure and you're asked a spontaneous question? The best of us would freeze. Some of us can't think under pressure. They need to revise that. Moving on. Someone else says, good morning to Keena, Tony, and Andre. Blessed morning to all. This one is for Tony. What's going on with West Indies cricket? 2 test matches and we're in winning positions and we lost. Our bowlers are stepping up, but looks like our batsmen are not putting in the same effort.
I'm a man with very few words. I swear to you, I always go straight to the point. We're not good enough. It's as simple as that. I do not think the current crop of West Indian cricketers are good enough. You know, India, surpassed us by a long way. Australia, who we are playing now, surpassed us by a long way. People like Bangladesh, sometimes we can't beat Bangladesh. We're just not good enough.
That was raw and honest.
That's what I'm talking about. So I use.
Anslam sent a photo.
The birthday
he
boy.
is celebrating his birthday, so I'm not quite sure if you want to have a look at it. Toons, here you are.
Daddy Fox.
Happy birthday.
For those of you who don't know, Anselm, Daddy Fox. A lot of people know him as Daddy Fox.
Oh, yeah. Andrew mentioned it. You two mentioned it earlier. Okay, so thanks for accepting my call. Mr. Joseph Sylvester, he chimed in and he said, did Tennyson John perform this year? Will they sing in alphabetical order in the Calypso final?
What was that?
Will they sing in alphabetical order in the Calypso final?
No, it's a dip.
Don't they have a right?
Dip. Yeah,
okay,
you
so,
dip.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I know we don't have a lot of time, but let me just say this quickly. I know that sometimes when you dip, you figure some of the weaker ones, you figure, boy, if you have like the last or the 8th or the 7th, those are really good positions to sing in.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they switch a bit.
Oh, they switch.
Yeah, they
Okay,
switch sometimes.
cool. So someone else chimes in and says, my Rev-Up crew, good morning. Have a super sparkly day. Thank you so much. So, Alton Basie Robinson, he says, good morning, Rev-Up family and friends. Hello, Andre, Tony, and Empress Keena. Do you guys know that Russia never took part in the enslavement trade? They have always been against it. That's from Alton Basie Robinson.
Yeah.
And that's the last person to chime in on
Okay,
our
Alton.
platform.
All the best to you, partner.
All right, thank you very much. All right, so let's go straight away to the Facebook page. And checking in first this morning is Pius Snappy. Yeah, man. Pius says, good morning. Simple and straightforward.
Good morning, Pius.
Followed by Sharon Peter says, good morning or morning. I see you. Good morning.
Morning,
Rev-Up.
Sharon.
Norma Plant. Hi, Norma. Good morning. Norma says, good morning, Rev-Up family. Blessed Monday to all. Pius came right back and says, Rev Up, with, of course, an emoji of, Andrew, what is this called? Class?
Praying?
Yeah, with the hands
Like a
right.
pray, almost like pray, or I agree kind of thing as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what is the word? Not clasp? Clasp.
Clasp. Yeah, you clasp your hand. Yes, CLASP.
Exactly. Right. So that's that. Barbara Augustine says, my favorite people, good morning. Lot Cote. What a name. Lot Cote, man. Lot Cote. You all know already. Big up, Rev Up, big up the crew. Can't do without this radio station. Oh, gosh. Not only you have a great name, but I tell you, man, you say great things as well. We appreciate you very, very much. Lot Cote. No, Mapanita. Trisha Lovelace. Not Trisha. Ticina Lovelace.
Ticina Lovelace.
She says, good morning, Paul Brothers and Keena.
Good morning, sweetie.
Luther Alce says, good morning, my dear brothers and sister. Welcome to the start of a productive week. God bless. Martha Charles. Hey, Martha Charles. It has a ring with Arthur. Maybe that's why I said that, because he's coming up as well. Martha's Shop Imagine
Hi,
Martha
Martha.
Chops. All right, so Martha Shop says, pleasant day, Mr. Andre, Mr. Tony, and the lovely Keena. Blessed love, blessed wonderful day, everyone. Peace and love. Now comes Lucita Jean-Pierre. Lucita says, good morning, Andre and beautiful Keena. Jerome Sakafet, Motivation Monday to all. Andre, nice to see you last night. So Lucita was there last night.
She was there.
So you knew her before?
Yeah, I saw her once in Monrepo.
Okay.
So I didn't quite remember her, to be honest with you, but she came up to me. I was going to say so anyway.
Okay.
And she said hello, and she brought me some water.
A true fan.
Yeah, a real
know
true
exactly
fan.
what you
a
want.
true fan. Yes. So Lucita, thank you very much.
Mhm.
So she was at Really Stressed Bar last night.
Okay.
Yeah, she didn't stay long though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Barbara Xavier says, good morning to Andre, Paul, Tony, Paul, Keena. Have a blessed Monday. Blessed love.
Thank you.
That's from Barbara Xavier. Catherine McPhee, good morning to you and Mark. She says, good morning, Andre, Tony, and Keena. Blessings always. Thank you, Catherine.
All right, Catherine. All the best to you and your family.
And Lucita Jean-Pierre says, good morning, everyone on the live radio garden. Share the link. Jerome, that's why you're glowing. You're not drinking the gauge, a.k.a. rum. The gog. Yeah, a.k.a. rum.
Who said that?
That's from, who else, Lucita?
Oh, I thought it would have been someone else.
Followed by Nancy Graceland. Nancy says, good morning, my favorite people. Tony, I knew you were not drinking because you're really looking good, my dear. There is a special glow about you. Andre, you see, you didn't pray for him to stop drinking, but I did.
For 3 weeks.
So I want to know what are they going to do when you go back now?
You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
boy.
Maybe the president.
Yeah.
They were answered, actually, for a short space of time.
Yes. So keep praying.
Keep praying, Nancy.
For a permanent solution.
Lord Kote, Manita. Lord Kote says, Tony, if you get bored, play PUBG Mobile. Is there a game called PUBG Mobile?
Or you download the app on your phone. Isn't that about like shooting and stuff and you play with a whole bunch of other people?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm asking.
Okay.
They can respond.
Mm-hmm.
I think I saw my godson playing it a few months ago. I think that's what it is.
Okay, PUBG. Both Andre and I are like lost. All right. Patricia Benjamin says, morning to AP, TP, and the beautiful Keena. Have a great day. Thank you so much, Patricia Benjamin. Clara Sammy, the mother of the
Darren Sammy. Yes,
You didn't say it.
You know what I'm saying?
But
The mother of...
Tony is just about doing it. That's why I held back. Yeah. So my pleasure. The great one.
All right. Now we're talking.
Yeah, man.
But the great one having a little bit of trouble. You know what I mean? We cannot win any matches. Australia just put a spanking on us, Andre, in about 3 or 4 days.
Let's pray.
Test match cricket is 5 days. Huh?
So, Tony, what message do you have for Darren Sammy? Say it loud.
Fire them all.
What message you have for Darren? His mother will pass it on.
Okay. Get some nice young talent. And I think what we need to do, Andre, is go the computer, play computer cricket, meaning read technique, in bowling and batting. Because, Andre, let me get to you. Australia, I think, probably started it. Going to the computer and seeing, let's say, a Michael Holding, when he come in to bowl and the technique that he uses and all of that, you just simply emulate it. Or prepare to bat according to his bowling. You prepare yourself. So that kind of preparation, you do it. But now we just probably still relying on just pure, raw, natural talent.
Mm-hmm.
So that's maybe why we're failing.
Mm-hmm.
These guys study. Andrew, for example, let's say the bowling. They say the bowling is good. We are bowling all right. We get the Australians out. But when we go into bat, Australians getting us out as well, easily. Study how this guy bowls to you and prepare for it. That's just my little 2 cents.
I'm happy you say that because it works. And
it does,
it works because just recently, a sprinter actually said during an interview leading up to the Diamond League, she said she had to watch the Olympic finals and there was another final that she watched, and she watched each of them 100 times.
There you go.
And she won.
Speaking of which, congrats
to Julian Alfred.
Julian Alfred, he placed second.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why I'm representing. With my Puma.
You're trying to figure out
what side it is.
Wow, was he forgot. But anyways, you still have the shirt, so represent my boy.
Representing, you know what I mean? So she placed second. She
Yeah.
had a late start, because when I look at the race, she started off the, what do you call it, of the thing where they
blocks?
start the blocks. She started Andre late. So the person who started a little before her, she never passed that lady. Yeah, she
2
just
seconds,
seconds, man.
just
2 seconds.
seconds.
2 seconds.
Oh my gosh, I love her.
Oh,
Like,
gosh, you gotta love her. You know what I mean?
So every time she races, I just want to hug her. I just want to hold her and hug her. She might be saying, no. You know what? It's race time. Stop it. But I don't think she ever will. She's so humble, though. Like, oh,
Have you ever met her?
no.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could just, every time I see her on my screen, I go Google. I melt. Yes.
All right. So Catherine McPhee came right back and said, of course, we were talking about the Carnival Queen contestants. She says the contestants expect questions surrounding their bio and so would not have been ready for an innovative question. Just my take. That's what she said, my take.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Ken.
The weatherman, who is a real cricket fan as well, he says, good morning to the entire Rev-Up family. Thank you, weatherman. Lauren Jewell says, good morning to the morning crew and the queen of talk media,
Good morning,
Keena.
Lauren. How are you?
Mary Charlemagne says, we as a people don't know to express ourselves well enough for others to understand us. Lorna Jules came right back and said, good morning to Andre, Tony, and the rest of the Rev-Up St. Lucia morning crew. Thank you so much, Lorna. Mary Klesse, May, we have to talk, I wonder what's happening with my Sundays, the Saturday mornings. You have never checked in with us. I'm wondering what's happening with you. All right, so Mary says, a marvelous Monday to all Rev-Up-aholics. I would like to extend my deepest condolences to Clara Sammy on the passing of another sister in 3 weeks. Wow. Clara,
Oh,
please try
Clara.
to be strong and may God give you all the strength you need to go on. Was not aware.
Oh.
Another
Oh my
sister.
gosh.
Wow.
I'm so sorry, Clara.
Sorry to hear that, Mrs. Sammy.
Yeah, very much
I know
so.
kisses won't make you feel better right now, but at least I'm going to try. Kisses. Mwah, 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 mwah.
All right.
Should help.
I hope.
Nancy Graceland. All right, Nancy. Here we go. Nancy. Andre, I bet you're well read. If they were to put you on the spot and ask you a question, especially if you're under pressure, I bet you would freeze. I hear you stutter sometimes on radio when Tony or Keena ask you questions. Would it be correct to say you're not prepared? Up to you to answer, or just
Yeah. Well,
move right along.
well, as I said, you're going into a competition. You know what's expected of you, right? As I gave you the example earlier. I wanted to be an anchorman. I prepared myself.
There
So
is
you're
no-
going into a competition. You ought to know what's expected of you. If you win, is because part of the criteria is that you're able to speak and express yourself, etc. So that's who's going to win to represent St. Lucia overseas.
It's a little different, if you have that spontaneity about you, where you can just, somebody ask a question, you think about it, especially when the question comes first and the person repeats the question without asking you, do you want me to repeat? They just repeat. So you're thinking, okay, here's my answer. But it's spontaneous. Sometimes you just freeze. That's what we're saying here. Andre, you don't know what's coming. You don't know the question. You just know there's a question, but you don't know what it is.
Yes.
Right.
But look at the statistics, right? You said what the Queen, she did a good job. I think
did
you
a
mentioned
decent job.
one other person, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Keena did. For me, all of them got a fail on that first question. For me, all of them didn't do it right.
As I said earlier, remember these people, you have to go represent St. Lucia overseas. You look at those international competitions and they ask them those spontaneous questions. They ask all of them, but you have to be able to answer. It's all part of the thing, unless of course you just go in for the fun of it, and you don't really intend to take it any further than where you're going. That's part of it. Okay, fine. But if you're serious and you want to, know what you're up against, that you're supposed to be representing the country overseas, that's the sort of thing that happens on the international stage.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be prepared for it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, Tony, in broadcasting, right? Don't we get news items spontaneously? You get a news item that's given to you right there and then.
Yeah.
Okay? And because of our experience and things like that, we kind of do a good job with it, right?
Decent job.
A decent job with it. That's just part of the game, if you want to call it that.
Andre, it's still different. If you have Andre, if I just throw a question at
You ever watch the BBC Live? You watch them live?
Not really.
And they get a breaking story. They just have it right there.
Sometimes-
You're expected to be able to read that story and read it with your. You must sound credible. You can't just be there stumbling all over. Okay, I just got this thing. No, it's expected of you.
I get that, Andre, but hear this and hear it clearly. Out of the blue, you're asked a question. You have no idea the question. You know a question is coming. You can't prepare for it. You cannot.
But when I just told you out of the blue, you got a news item.
You've seen it.
A breaking story.
You're reading that on the spot.
And you have a foreign name that's there.
Then you kind of might mess
No,
mess
but
it up a
with the
bit. You
BBC
might mess
Live, they have
Now-
headphones
now
and
I was
all of
gonna
that,
go there
and
too, you
they
know.
have a
No,
prompter.
no,
Yeah,
they
they
have-
do.
they-
you see
no,
stuff.
no, they do have.
I'm a fan of the BBC. I watch that thing every day. They look at the prompter and they read what's given to them.
But
Yeah,
hold
but
on,
they
okay,
also have headphones. They have the
so
producers and stuff telling them
what does that have to do with reading the item?
Well, let me tell you what it is.
No, let her answer.
But maybe
What-
she don't know.
Hold on. What does that have to do with you reading an item?
Even they too
Because
make
you-
mistakes
you-
sometimes.
I agree, yes, but I'm saying to you, part of the job entails you getting a story out of the blue. You never know that's a breaking story. You must be able to read what you have there. That's expected of you. That's the point I'm trying to make. I'm saying you go into a pageant like that. You can't just go and say, okay, if I make it, all right, I'll do the best I can. But you must understand this is bigger than you. You expected to represent your country overseas. So that is what's coming. So they're preparing them for it.
You cannot be prepared for something.
Okay.
you
And I
know
don't
nothing about.
think I get
Okay,
what
you
Andre
don't know
is
nothing
saying.
about it.
I get what
Okay.
he's saying, but I don't think they go into competition thinking, you know what, if I make it, I make it. If I don't make it, I don't make it.
Yeah, you
I
go
think
in
they
to
go
win.
into
All of them.
competition
All
to
of them
win.
to win it.
You know, and again, we'll just say, yeah, I don't know, something about nerves.
It is. No,
It's
Andre, it's a hell of a thing.
You know,
Andre,
even with all the training
Well, I
and
almost feel like I
experience
wanna
you
gi-
do
I wanna
have,
give
you
up
will
them
still
shout
make a
outs and just
mistake,
go-
you'll fumble.
No,
Andre,
do the big shout out, do the big shout out.
footballers, cricketers. Andre, your Brian Lara is one of the best who ever hold a bat in his hand. When you go to play, sometimes you start off really nervous. And this is something you do for a living. You get paid well to do it. The footballers, the professionals, and for the time they go there and they're nervous. You're nervous, and actually the worst thing can happen to you is to be nervous.
But you ever
your legs shaking, you
you
feel
ever come
weak.
across somebody who's nervous and you can never tell that they're nervous? You can never tell.
Yeah, because of the poise, I suppose.
Maybe the poise and the way that they
on the
articulate themselves and-
inside, you're dying.
Exactly.
Yes.
But nobody can tell
Right,
because you're able to execute.
yeah. 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 Okay, so let's try to run through this quickly. It's already 25 past the hour. All right. Christine Challery, Christine Challery, yes, blessed Monday to all. Clara Sammy says, thanks, May. May Klesser came right back and says, my two favorite times of the year are my birthday and Christmas. Sometimes I celebrate my birthday for 2 months, but mostly 1 month. I celebrate for all the birthdays I didn't celebrate growing up. I get that, May.
I agree.
Yes, that was nice. Lucita Champion says, Auntie Clara, my condolences to you and your family. Clara Sammy says, thank you, Lucita. Mario Leandre, that's how it's spelled. Maybe Leandre, but Leandre, Leandre. All right, so Mario, good mornings, folks. That's what he says. John Flavian says, Andre, it's not everyone who values life like we do. That's true. Marilyn King says, good morning. Marilyn, good morning to you. She Chubb says, really? Lucita Jean-Pierre says, St. Lucia is Gaza. I staying far from many young people getting killed and only about 10 people talking our people hearts have become so cold. Papa God, they're more interested in Chasney visits St. Jude's Awa Nufini. Mario Lewandi, I'll call you Lewandi for now. Andre, the general public will do what they can for Tyson, but it is partly the responsibility of the media as well to keep Tyson's memory alive. We no longer have a civil society body, and even now, journalists are compromised. It is a sad situation. Arthur Charles says, good morning, folks. Today is the birthday of the following persons: Mrs. Kathy Bertie Thomas, Mr. Julian Billy, 80 years old today. Mr. Winston
Mr.
Springer
Billy.
Jr., he said. All right, so Mr. Billy's birthday is today, and he moves on to say, Anselm, Daddy Fox, Elitaire, and Mr. Johnson Jean-Baptiste of the UK.
Happy birthday, Mr. Billy. All the best
Happy
to you.
birthday.
All right. 80 years old. Wow.
yeah.
He doesn't look 80 at all.
Right. That's
I mean,
right.
I see the gentleman. He walks a lot.
Yes, he definitely does. All right, Elsa Hippolyte says, greetings to my Paul brothers, Keena, and all in the chat room. Have an awesome day. Septima Joseph says, good morning. Robert Cauldron, who is Poulbois, says, good morning, Rev-Up family. Thank you, Robert, for checking in with us. We appreciate it very, very much. Oh, Poulbois. Joan Shallery says, good morning, Andre and Tony and Keena and everyone listening. John Flavian, West Indies should just stop playing Test cricket. All those players could think of is white ball cricket. That's another one again, Andre. In terms of their ability and so on, they play white ball cricket really decent, some of them. Peter Gillard says, good morning, team Rev Up. Have a great week and stay safe. Remember all your eyes to the east, or all your eyes to the east. Lucita Jean-Pierre says, Andre, that place is a dangerous place. The vehicles are speeding through there.
Yes.
Slow down, although there's a slow down sign. Andre, my friend told me Andre is playing. I just came to say hello. So
And
that's
she
why
did.
that's why she stepped out. All right.
I don't know why they're taking so long to put a speed bump.
A speed bump there. Yeah.
Or
that
that,
would help
or
so
that
much.
rope. You know, these days they have a rope they put
The
across the road.
Yeah.
Rope.
Yeah.
Okay, that would help. A speed bump would help big
Yeah,
time.
because
speed bump.
somebody's actually killed down the road some time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Anderson. Morning. I firmly agree with Tony. This crop of West Indies players are just not good enough. Plain and simple. Pearl Food Baby Henry says, good morning and happy new week to all in the chat room and the Rev-Up family. Rev-Up St. Lucia family, have a blessed day. Clara Sammy says, thanks. I appreciate all the love. I'm trying to be strong, but sometimes I just can't hold myself together. I'm trying really hard. Keep the family in your prayers. Thank you so much
Will
for that,
do.
Clara, and we'll do our best. Mary Classy wraps it up by saying the news reporters have years of reporting experience. The carnival contestants don't have years of being a contestant. Mary, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you.
All right. Okay.
Hey.
All right. Yeah.
Our final.
That's it.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah, man. That's it right there.
Okay, so we got to wrap things up. So, of course, to you, Keena, what do you have coming up today on the show?
I'll tell you which country tops the global charts for the most individuals having showers in the world per day.
Showers meaning baby showers and stuff?
Showers like bathing.
Oh,
Yeah, showers.
What are you going to tell us?
Which country now tops the global charts for
Having
them having
showers?
the most showers per person?
St. Lucia.
Most showers per person.
What's
Yeah.
St. Lucia?
Saint
Wow.
who?
We bathe.
St. Lucia, no,
Yeah,
no.
St. Lucia. We bathe, man. Andre, you still bathe 2, 3, 4 times a day, 5 times?
At least twice.
I
At
do
least
it
twice.
3 times,
Yeah,
sometimes
twice.
4, depending on how hot it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
twice for sure. Twice
Yeah.
for sure. And even the brushing of the teeth, that's another one that's important again. Some of us don't do it at nights.
Or don't even do it after we've eaten something.
Exactly,
Yeah.
you know,
Nights
floss
is
and so on.
important.
But that's an interesting one.
Yeah,
So
that's
I would
how it-
imagine at least every country in the world, at least each person bathes at least 365 days, at least once.
Once.
for the
Not really.
Not really.
Not really.
There's some
Sometimes
people that have said that they don't,
They don't
have a
bathe.
shower.
Sometimes for a
Some-
whole week.
So what is it that they do?
Especially if it's cold.
Some celebrities have even come out. I think Ashton Kutcher a few years ago came out and he said that he doesn't have daily showers. Sometimes he
Yeah.
goes a week without,
There you go.
What?
Yeah, Andre. Simple. These places are
Yeah.
cold. They don't sweat.
Some
they feel like they just
people-
don't need to
I
shower.
like that.
Some people hate shower.
They don't.
What?
Yeah, they're good with that.
A
You
week?
know.
A week? He had a wife. He doesn't have a wife, man.
Yeah, they both do the same.
Well, must,
Mia Coolest,
it must
they,
be.
they said that they
It must
do
be.
the same. Some
It
people
must
have-
be. That's an interesting one. Yeah. Okay.
John Hopkins researchers have developed a blood test that can detect cancer years before it happens.
A blood test.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that for real?
It is for real.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
an interesting one.
And what a new study as well from Harvard is saying that a study links childhood chores to greater success in that child's life. So the lazier the child is and not giving that child any chore to do, then their future is they're not as successful, pretty much.
Good one. Good
If
one.
you're lazy,
Good
that's
one.
a problem, man.
Yeah,
You
good
know
one.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And of course, the one-hit wonder, hit of the day, Rev-Up St. Lucia News with Andre Paul. And not forgetting Safe Streets, Strong Communities. Today's focus is on how early exposure to crime can shape future offenders.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Okay, so that's Keena. She's going to be with you until 3 o'clock this afternoon. 3 o'clock is going to be
Zen, the DJ.
until 6. And of course, then from 6 o'clock until 7, Tony Paul will be back here with Rev Up the Homegrown.
Which will change really, really soon.
Yes, so I think, go ahead, Tony.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
the times will change, where it will be from 11:30, maybe as early as next week, Monday. 11:30 a.m. with Keena and myself. Monday and Tuesday. That's right. Monday and Tuesday, 11:30. And of course, the countdown will continue every Saturday. That too will change really soon as well.
Alrighty, good stuff, good stuff. Okay, so folks, that's the end of my stint here on Rev Up for today. As always, you can check me out tomorrow morning, same time from 5 o'clock for another Wake Up and Live. And this has been Hard Drive with the compliments of Joseph Shipping Agency and JJ's Paradise, and also Rambali's Funeral Parlor. At JJ's Paradise, we're now offering day pass specials for adults at a cost of, listen to this, $75 EC for day passes. 75 EC dollars. And children, $45 EC. That's a day pass.
Not bad, actually.
Yeah, very good. Includes pool access, one free drink, lunch buffet style. Imagine lunch buffet style, and ice cream. Well, dessert ice cream for dessert. Children over 12 years, you pay the adult price, and you can book a room for an additional $165 from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call JJ's at 721-7693. That's 721-7693 to book a day pass package at JJ's Paradise today. Towels not provided. Joseph Shipping Agency, the only agency in St. Lucia with 24 hours efficient service. When everyone else is asleep, we are awake. Joseph Shipping Agency, call 484-8888. That's 484-8888.
At Randall's Funeral Parlor, we strive to bring you and your family the highest level of comfort, absolute satisfaction, and peace of mind during your most sorrowful time of need.
Our professional standards and quality services are second to none. We offer ground burials, burials at sea, cremations, and embalming, fine locally made coffins, internationally made caskets, 24-hour emergency, shipping and receiving the deceased to and from overseas.
Ram Valley's signature funeral package includes a casket or coffin collection, refrigeration and preparation of the body, hearse services, 100 funeral leaflets, 12 memorial buttons, 6 keurings, 10 corsages, and 1 framed photo.
Ram Valley's Funeral Parlor, Calvary Road, Castries, and Lartuni, Beaufort. For more information, please call 758-452-2021 or 758-454-9239.
Hey friends, are you ready to kickstart your day with inspiration? Join Pastor Yanrick Joseph for Come Grow With Him, your